Hey guys, SmashweRx, you know the routine. We're gonna go over stuff and, I don't know, make you indestructible. Bulletproof, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, nobody's bulletproof. What we do is we just fix problems and make sure they don't come back. It's just that easy. So we're gonna talk about clicking and popping knees. And if you've ever exercised in your life and you've ever done a squat in your life, which you have, everybody has, I guarantee you've had some kind of knee pain, some kind of clicking and popping, and some kind of grinding and weird problems with your knees. So I'm going to show you a couple of things to do, but first thing we're going to do is a little bit of an anatomy lesson so you can understand why we're talking about this. By the way, 8-man strong, super legit stuff. The shirts actually fit really well. Sent me a bunch of these things. I really like these. So yeah, it's cold today. It's like super cold. So what I'm talking about is if you look at the knee, the people always focus their attention on the knee, but the problem is it's not the knee. 99 times out of 100, it's not the knee. Usually it's either a hip or an ankle issue or a hip or a foot issue, and I'll explain what I mean by that so you understand. You have two bones, right? Well, three essentially if you really want to get fancy, but the two that are supporting a lot of the load are the femur and the tibia. They're supposed to be lined up. If they're not lined up, and there's two ways that that's going to happen. They're either going to rotate against each other or they're going to deviate laterally or medially against each other. If they're not doing that, that patella and that knee takes some serious friggin' abuse. So if it's the lower portion, so if you have the tibia and it's all rotated or counter-rotated, or it's driven lateral or medial relative to the humerus, so relative to the top of the leg, and you know what, why don't I do this? I'll show you what we're talking about. Let's go down here. So if, we'll go like this. I guess it's really not that cold now that I think about it. So I'll sit here so you can see what I'm talking about. So if I take, and I'm sorry I'm not in shorts because I'm going to use this leg so it's easier to see. It's a little chilly. So if the tibia, this is your tibia, right? Your shin bone, the one that my boy Kevin Ross uses to smoke into people a lot of times. This is your femur. Now down the lateral side here, we also have the fibula. We're not going to be concerned with that one right now. But the patella is basically a sesamoid bone. So that means it's a bone that's encapsulated in a tendon. And it gets encapsulated, and we have the quadriceps tendon that turns into the patellar tendon that anchors to what's called the tibial tuberosity, which is this little bump on your tibia. So if this bone, this tibia, is cranked off to this side or this side, relative to this, you're going to have knee problems. If it's rotated, either external or internal, relative to this, you're going to have knee problems. And that's what's going to cause that popping and snapping because the knee isn't tracking right. And there's this really funky syndrome called Patellofemoral pain syndrome. And they used to hack people open for this stuff. It's not a surgical intervention. They can't cut your knee and fix that problem. They have to change the mechanics of the hip and the mechanics of the foot. So if this is rotated, 9 out of 10 times, it's an ankle problem. If this is rotated or laterally or medially deviated relative, right, then it's a hip problem. I'm going to address both of them so you can understand and how to fix this knee and get out of that snapping and popping. Now, most of the time what I found, glute med, that's what it is, gluteus medius. So it's a muscle that does abduction and a little bit of rotation in the hip. But the problem is you can squat 600 pounds, 800 pounds, and still have a super weak glute med. So I'm going to show you how to undo all that. And you can also have an ankle issue where you drive your knees forward in your squat and you don't even know it. And you're not coming up off the ground, but you're driving your knees forward relative to your feet, and you're just chewing up that knee as well. So I'm going to show you how to unload that ankle as well. Super simple stuff, but stuff that really works. So the first thing we're going to do, and we need to actually recover something else called that terminal knee extension. So terminal knee extension is how that knee locks out at the end. If you're only partially engaged in that knee, your hamstrings stay loaded, and you go into hyperextension in your lumbar spine. And then what happens is you wind up chewing up that knee again and it starts to pop and snap. So what do you say we just get rid of all that popping and snapping? Cool? All right, so this is what we're going to do. First things first is we're going to reclaim, let's go like this. We're going to reclaim that terminal knee extension. So we take a band. And this is important. The order, the hierarchy of what we're doing right here is actually really important. So we're going to take an ab mat. I don't care if you use a plate or whatever. It doesn't matter what you use. I just flip it upside down just so I have a good support for my leg. I tuck my heel into the band, and then I cross the band across the foot, and I'm going to have to wind up moving my camera. How about we do this? Oh, I'm trapped in a band. Look at that. Let's go like that. Let's go like this. That's some mad camera skills right there. You like that? I know you like that. It's awesome. All right, so we load up. So you can see I've got the band loaded up. What I wind up doing is I really crank this so it's distracting the band. it's distracting the knee. So once it's distracted, all I'm going to do is I want you to watch my heel. I'm going to pick the heel up. What I'm doing is I'm contracting at the knee, and then I bring it back down. So I contract, and I let it back down while it's under load. So that's going to distract it. So we just want to knock some of the rust off the hinge here, and we want to clean up some of the mechanics. But what we want to do in relation to that is we want to do this. Well, the tibia, or the femur, should externally rotate relative to the tibia slightly in the bottom of a squat. So we want to have that. So, or at the top rather, in that terminal knee extension. So we want to recover that. So that's what's called the screw home mechanism. So we lock the knee out, and then we take the tibia and we turn it in as we contract the quad. So contract, turn the tibia in. Contract, turn the tibia in. Contract, turn the tibia in. Do that 3 sets of 10. You know the routine. Do the same thing on the other side. That's number 1. Number 2 is working on that glute med. This one gets ugly. So we'll do this. You get to watch me shimmy, shimmy, shake on this one. All right, time to speed up this video because we're talking way too much. So we drop the band down. We're going to step into the band. You guys catch that? I was trying to debate how I wanted to do that. So we want to load this up. So I'm going to load up the band. Put your hand on one side, and I'm just gonna, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be working this side. So I'm gonna shove my hip out, like I'm gonna try and kick my leg out, and then I'm gonna contract. So I'm just doing, it looks funny, it looks like I'm doing this little dance, but what I'm doing is I'm basically dropping the hip like I would in a Trendelenburg skate, right? So I'm gonna drop the hip, and then squeeze and push the side of the hip out under the load of the band. So I'm gonna push out, push in, push out, push in. You're gonna do that 3 sets of 10. I know this stuff seems simple, but trust me, it's like I'm taking off a pair of pants. This is stuff you need to do. That's number 2. Number 3, it's gonna be an ankle mobility. We're gonna load up the band on the ankle, and you gotta address all this stuff, because if you don't, what you wind up with are a bunch of problems, and you don't know how to get to the solution because you keep throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. So we load up the band right at the ankle crease. So band, ankle crease, not up on the bone, right where that ankle makes a change, right where that retinaculum is. Load it up. You don't need any other tools other than a band. We're gonna just take this. I'm gonna grab the inside of the foot. My knee is tracking out. The band is pulling backwards. How about we switch sides so you can actually see what the hell I'm doing? So band right here. Band pulling behind me, directly behind me, right in the crease. That's really important, right in the crease of the ankle. Grab the foot and push the knee out, and then let that band really drag that back and just hang out in this position for how long? 2 minutes. Keep that heel on the ground. That is number 3. Number 4 is just a wall kick. So we're gonna go like this, and you've seen this one before. So you've seen this one before when I worked on fixing the squat. So we're gonna put our arm out this way, we're gonna put our leg up like this, and we're gonna just let the hip come away from the wall, and then squeeze and push it back up against the wall. Come away, and then squeeze and push it back. I guarantee you, this is going to be on fire. And you're gonna do this 3 sets of 10. Here's the big thing. Same thing on the other side. That's the takeaway. Everybody does this on one side, do it on both sides. You wanna get rid of the snapping and popping knees? Get that stuff done. Hey, listen, I'm Trev, SmashweRx, clearing it out 1 part at a time. I will check you guys out tomorrow. Have a good day.